Hello and welcome to the Budget Knitter Podcast. My name is Spargur. I am your host, and we are in Henderson, Nevada right now, and I have a very special guest with me today. This is Angel.
Hello.
For those of you who have watched my podcast for a little bit, you will know that I've mentioned her a lot. She's kind of been like my first fan, I guess, is what we could classify you as here.
Yep, you're our biggest fan.
Yeah. So the first time I ever walked into Sin City Knit Shop, you were like, "Oh my God, you're the budget knitter! I know you!" And everything kind of went from there.
Yep.
So she's going to be joining me today on the podcast. So quick couple things we'll get out of the way. You can find me on Ravelry as WSpargurKnits. You can find me on Instagram as WillMSU. We have a Facebook group for this, which is facebook.com/thebudgetknitter. There's a Ravelry group, which is the Budget Knitter Podcast. You can search that. So since we're filming this a little bit earlier, I know I was going to announce some winners from closing. We were going to close some Cal and Charity Along threads and stuff like that. But I said I was going to close that on the 7th, and today is the 6th. So I will do a separate video doing all the winners for that thing. So if that's what you're here for, sorry, this is just going to be a regular podcast. But don't worry. Ooh, excuse me. Don't worry, I am going to do a separate video for all of the winners for that. I just want to make sure that since I told you the 7th, we make it to the 7th before I close and not give anybody the opportunity to see what they need to see. Or put in the threads what they need to put in, because we have the Flax Cal going along. So if you're finishing up your Flax sweater and putting your last finishing touches, you have until Wednesday the 7th to put those in, and so I'll close it around the time I go to bed on Wednesday night. And same with the Charity Along, we'll close around the same time there, and then I'll announce all the prize giveaways for that. So today's going to be a really fun podcast because we have Stitches SoCal recaps. We have works in progress for both of us. I have like a finished object somewhere around here. I don't know if you have any finished anything. Anyway.
Probably not.
But, so before we really get started, I have had something that's been kind of weighing on me for a little bit, which is kind of some things that happened with some people who I wronged, and those are the people who donated stuff to me a while back. There was a podcast where I was just really excited. A lot of people had gone out of their way to give me yarn from their stash that they weren't going to use, a lot of which I know was hard to part with. And I then turned around and took something that was given to me and I sold it so that I could go to Stitches SoCal. When I did that, I just wasn't thinking. I didn't realize what that meant I didn't realize what that was going to do to people, and it doesn't matter whether I meant to hurt anybody or not. I hurt people, and I shouldn't have. I should have thought a little bit more about what I was doing, and for that I'm really sorry, because I made a lot of people upset. And again, it doesn't matter whether or not I meant to, I did. And I never really took the time to really apologize, and I'm always trying to live my truth and be honest, and so I'm honestly saying here right now, I'm incredibly sorry for what I did. Again, regardless of my intention, I hurt some people, and I am truly sorry for what I've done, and I hope that, in the future we can hopefully mend some things, but, I'm hoping, as we go forward, we'll be able to, or you'll be able to forgive me. So I am asking for your forgiveness if you watched this podcast. I don't know how many of you still do, but I'm hoping the message will get out there. That being said, getting the sad moments over, we're going to jump right into works in progress, but I know a lot of you also want to see what I got at Stitches, because I got a lot. But let's just jump right in. I don't have a whole lot, so let's start with you. You're knitting on something.
Yep, I am working on the second sock of a pair. This is made from Tink yarn, exclusive to Sin City Knit Shop. It's called Watermelon Splash, I believe. This is like vintage Tink from about 5 years ago.
And that's got some stellina in it.
Yep, it's got some sparkle.
Some sparkles. Let's see if you guys can see the sparkle.
And that's the old Tink label
Oh, okay.
So.
There we go.
And that's the
that's
first sock.
And that's Terry. Terry's the dyer. We love Terry. Terry is so nice. Yep. No, this is really cute. So you're doing top down.
Top
right?
down, magic loop, fish lips, kiss heel. And yeah. So it's coming along.
Magic loop people.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I can't get into using double points.
Well, I don't. I do 2 circulars. That's what
I've never tried 2 circulars, although I might give that a shot. You can show me.
I mean, it's magic loop, but with 2 circulars instead of 1.
Yep.
So it's fun. What else you got over there?
I got me a hat on crocheting. And I think it's going to be a tam, so it's going to pull in and have a nice ribbing down
solid.
Here. Yeah, so it'll be cute. It's a tweed yarn I got a little while ago.
So is it
cute.
Double crochet?
Just double crochet.
Double crochet.
Yeah, it's all double crochet.
And you did top down.
Yep.
How many stitches did you start with?
I started with 10 or 12, I don't remember.
12. Okay.
And just do your regular increases. Anybody that crochets knows how to do those increases.
All my crochet hats end up gnome-ish. I get points on mine.
I guess I need to teach you.
Well, I did meet, so it's kind of skipping ahead to the Stitches thing. I met, his name's Quaylen Stark.
The Quo podcast.
Yeah, of the Quo podcast. Mm-hmm. And by the way, fantastic, adorable person, like super, super cute. But I met him, and he did a demonstration on kind of like a really simple, easy to remember, basic top-down crochet formula. Mm-hmm. And it used all increasing by 6. Uh-huh. So I watched that demonstration with him, and so that was really cool. That's really helpful, because I think I started with 8, but all of mine are really pointy. I don't know. I don't know what I did. So, anyway.
Well, it works for your pointed head now.
Okay, so I only really have one work in progress that's different from things I showed on my last podcast. Because the last podcast was like pre-stitches. Mm-hmm. And so now this is post-stitches. So I haven't really worked on anything. Right. Because it's been more about the show than anything. But I do have one that I kind of started. And this is an infinity scarf that I'm crocheting. Just simple, it's double crochet, but it's a Mobius.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, if you're not familiar with what a Mobius is, it's a one-sided object, essentially. It's a really cool mathematical thing. Look it up. It's a really interesting topic. But one row actually covers both sides of the piece, really. So I've been doing that, and I've been using Karen Chunky Cakes. I forgot what the colorway is. I keep throwing away my yarn labels, and I'm actually getting... I need to stop doing that. Bad podcaster. Yeah, I keep throwing them away, and I shouldn't be doing that. But it is Karen Chunky Cakes. It was on clearance. Michael's is like trying to put out all their Christmas stuff. So, yeah, it's really cute. I got the idea, so I was doing an infinity scarf by Jada and Stitches, where she used a really big hook on regular worsted weight yarn, and it was just single crochet in the back loop. Mm-hmm. So it gave this kind of lacy but also kind of boxy pattern, but it wasn't a Mobius. But I was like, I really like the Mobius look, and I can't do a Mobius knit cast on to save my life. Mm-hmm. So I just looked up a crochet Mobius, and it was a simple twist. I was like, okay, all of my Mobius anything is going to be crochet from now on. It's really fun. I'm using a 10mm hook. This is... I think this is a Knitter's Pride hook. I got this at Mad Knitter's Yarn. I haven't bought a set in a really long time. I just buy the single hooks, so I'm like, I guess I need that hook. So that's a 10mm hook on chunky weight yarn. I'm not done, and it doesn't take very long, but I'm also just...
haven't had time to do anything.
No, time is the problem. Time is definitely the problem.
Need more hours in the day.
Or something.
Yeah.
Need more days in the week, and more hours in the day. Alright, what else you got?
Okay, I got another hat I'm doing with the star stitch. Kind of hard to see it with this dark yarn, but
It's really pretty.
just crocheted from the bottom up. Did a simple ribbing, single crochet in the back loop, back and forth, and then picked up stitches around and just started doing the star stitch. Star stitch is a really neat stitch, but it eats up the yarn.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Well, it feels like
you
a
have
really...
to pull up 6 loops in order to do the star stitch. It eats up the yarn big time.
Now, so for our knitters who may not be bistitchual and not know, so when you do ribbing for a brim, you have to basically knit like a thin flat piece,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
then seam it together, and then you pick up stitches on the side
Yep.
to work in the round.
Right.
So for knitters, when you do a hat or something in the round, you basically just cast on, join in the round, and keep going. With crochet, it's not quite like that. There's not really a way to do the brim that makes the same sort of sense.
You can if you do front post crochet and back post crochet. You can do it then.
But do people like that as much?
It depends on what the look you want. So front post and back post is much more pronounced. This isn't as a pronounced stitch. So it doesn't stick out as much. But I like this too.
Because it's subtle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's more subtle than the front post and back post. So, but yeah, I really like it.
That's really
fun.
cute. So that's just on a different color of the tweedy
Of
yarn.
the tweed yarn, yes, the exact same yarn is just a different color. It's a purple color. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it's purple.
It's a nice deep purple.
Very, very pretty. It may be for me. It may be a gift. I don't know.
We'll find out when she's done and whether or not it fits her head.
Oh, it'll fit my head. I made sure of that. And I just have one last thing that I'm working on. Actively working on, because I probably got 20 whips at the house.
I mean, that whole tub right there is all.
Oh.
Those are all works in progress with some socks.
I got you
There's
way beat.
Well, no, there's some under the bed too. I have whips everywhere.
Yeah. So I am doing the flax also. And
this is turning out great.
This is made from Ella Rae Cozy Soft in the raspberry pudding colorway.
It's so shiny.
It is, and it's so soft. I'm excited about getting it done. I am almost just this close to doing the ribbing on the bottom, and then I can go to Sleeve Island.
Now, what was the fiber content of this? Was this just acrylic? This wasn't acrylic, was it?
No, I think it has a little bit of... Here, I got the 75% acrylic, 25% wool.
Oh, okay, so it's a 75-25, mostly acrylic yarn.
So,
okay.
That's...
Cute.
What that looks like.
This is such a... And you're doing such a great job. I love how this is turning out. I love the halo.
Mm-hmm.
I love everything about this.
I love how soft it is.
This is gorgeous. Now, how much longer do you have to go on the body?
I think I only have maybe an inch and a half yet, maybe?
Before the ribbing.
Before the ribbing.
Okay.
So I think I have to do 17 inches, and I'm really close. I keep measuring and wondering if I'm actually getting there. Seems like I've been at 16 inches for months.
No, when it comes to knitting sweaters, the body, once you get the body done, it is smooth sailing from there. But I tell you what, when you're just knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting, it feels like you are getting nowhere.
Yeah.
And it can be so draining.
Yep. That's where I'm at.
Sweet.
I just want to get to the ribbing and move on.
All right.
So, I have no finished objects.
I have a couple, but before we do that, I need to check something, and I forgot something. So, intermission, which I'll cut in a second.
I need a drink.
Sometimes I always have to like hop up here and check and make sure it's still recording because sometimes someone will call me and it'll stop the recording. Okay. Grab it. I gotta find I have a finished object, but it's in with all my stuff that I don't want you to see yet. Here we go.
No, I think you put things in one of these. I can tell you which ones are from her.
Okay, we'll
because
check.
I know I saw you put it in there.
Okay, we'll check when we're.
Yeah.
They've got to be there.
I know they're in there. You put them in there. They were on a string. They were strung together.
Okay. All right, so I have, well, a couple finished objects, I guess. So first, that scarf I did
That was really pretty.
Jada and Stitches.
I love the colors.
Isn't that gorgeous? This is just a Karen cake. I forget the colorway name, but I just worked until I pretty much ran out of yarn. But it's really nice. It drapes well. And then of course if you need more. But yeah, this
I think it would look better on me.
Well, don't you just want presents?
No, but I like my bright colors.
You do? Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I wouldn't know what to wear that with because all of the colors I wear are really muted. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, that looks really good on you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, Merry early Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
That's okay. She gave me some gifts earlier, too. Yeah. Which I'm going to show you. But first, so when I went to Stitches, I was knitting... I don't think I finished this. I was knitting a second of my hat samples to have at the show. And so I did finish the second one. This is in Leading Men Fiber Arts. This is their Copper Cloud colorway on their Show Stealer base, which is their merino cashmere nylon. And it is knit on US number 5s. And this one actually fits my head and doesn't hurt to wear. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I love the drape. I love how soft it is. My dogs are whining, so if you can hear that, I'm so sorry. But I can't... Having been gone for 5 days, they think that they have privileges to do things that they don't actually get to do. Duchess, sweetie, sweetie, shh, stop, stop, okay? She'll probably whine for another 5 minutes or so before she realizes I'm not letting her out yet. But yeah, so I did knit another one of these. I love it. I love how it turned out. It's definitely perfect for my head. However, I do have a coworker that I promised this to, so it's going to get, I'm going to wash it one more time and reblock it and give that to her.
She's going to love it.
Yes. Well, she's already seen it, so the important thing was she has a lot of hair, so we wanted to make sure it fit on her head.
Oh, good.
But she did like it, so that will go to her. And then Angel made me these pumpkins. Aren't they the cutest things? I love them. They are so cute. And they are the perfect addition to fall decor. Now, did you have a pattern or?
I followed the Bella Coco podcast. She had a tutorial. And she has several for pumpkins, but this was just one of them that she had. I ran across it and I thought, oh my goodness, I can do that.
These are so cute. So these are going to go on my dining room table since I don't really have any fall decor in the house, so this will be perfect. And then I guess one thing I want to show before we get to the Stitches Stash Stitches recap is I showed you guys last time the hat I knit out of my Vegas Born colorway, but it was kind of a paler color and it was on worsted weight yarn, so it was none of the things that it was going to be for Mad Knitters yarn here in Henderson, the shop that I'm dyeing it for. So I have finished 10 of the 20 that she's asking for, and I need to order the other 10 skeins, but this is the final product. So we've got the nice golden color that's more of the muted color that she was looking for. Now that it is dried, it's not actually quite the color we wanted, so I'm going to have to modify that in future batches. But other than that, this turned out great. I think she's going to be very pleased with it. This is on a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon, so it's a great fingering weight sock yarn or fingerless mitts. I think some people from the shop actually want to do like a really nice slouchy beanie. Again, being in Vegas, we don't need anything too incredibly warm.
Yep.
So there's a lot of people who are really interested in this. I'm actually really excited to get this to the shop and see what she thinks about it. So yeah, that's just a little bit of an update on this. I know some of you were interested in how it was going to finally turn out when we were done. So that's it. So yeah. Alright, so the part we're all here for. And I'm also trying to... I have no idea how I'm going to maneuver a lot of this, because there's a lot. Guys, this is intense. So we're going to start with the stuff that isn't yarn. Oh, okay. Actually, the first thing... No. Okay, never mind. I know what order I kind of want to do this in, but I'm also still trying to remember where everything is. Okay. Nope. Okay, so first of all, Stitches SoCal. Oh my goodness. It is the smallest of the Stitches conventions, but it was so incredible just to be around so many fiber artists. There was knitting, there was crochet, there was sewing, there was quilting, there were buttons. Like, there's a whole button guild, apparently. There's people who, like, get together, make buttons, and trade buttons. Buttons are a huge thing, apparently. So that was a lot of fun. And then, side note, there is going to be a separate Stitches SoCal recap video thing where I'm going to put together the photos and videos that I took while I was there, so be looking for that too. But other than that, there were so many booths, so many dyers and yarn shops, a lot of them local to the area, so it was really cool to see all of the different shops and what they offer and the people they bring in, because a lot of different shops have a lot of different people that they work with. So, Quaylen is actually from Texas, but his shawl is with Needlepoint West, I think is the name of the shop, just like 2 minutes from the airport. So, you know, they brought him in to work their booth. You know, so a shop from LA has a guy from Texas coming in to show off his designs and help work with the booth.
Nice.
So, you know, it's really cool to see how different people collaborate and where they've known each other and where they're trying to go. You know, you meet a lot of dyers, and there were some booths where you're like, how in the world does one person dye all of this inventory? But they do. There are places where, or there are a few booths where there had to be hundreds of skeins, and they're all dyed by one person, and that was incredible to me, just to see all of that. And to be in the Leading Men Fiber Arts booth and showing off my designs and my patterns, and to meet people and give the coupon codes out, and it was just such an incredible experience. And if you ever get a chance to go to any kind of fiber event, I encourage you to go, especially Stitches. It's usually relatively affordable. I think 3 days for the marketplace was like $24 or something like that, but there's sometimes certain yarn shops sometimes give a coupon for 20% off or $2 off or something like that. There were so many ways that you could have saved money just to get into the event, but you don't have to go to all 3 days. You can go to just one, and it was like $8. But it was so incredible. It was basically, the marketplace was really only open for 3 days, but I was in LA for 5. So it was 5 days of just absolute enjoyment. I couldn't have asked for a better weekend, a better time, and a better place to spend with other fiber artists. It was great. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. So one of the greatest things about a place like that is that you get a lot of other big name shops, stores, what have you. So one of the biggest vendors there was Knitpicks, and Knitpicks was putting so many of their things on sale, and I just couldn't pass them up. So they're all stuck here on the bottom. One of the first things I got is this clean and crafty dishcloths for all seasons. This has 52 cute cloths to craftify your home. Novices and experts alike will find practical patterns, both simple and challenging, in a variety of techniques. So they actually have several dishcloth books. I think they have 3. And they're normally like $20. $5 at the show.
Oh.
$5 at the show.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, so
I'm going
cool.
next year.
Oh, yes. So we're definitely pushing for next year. They
Yes.
were having talks about it next year, so.
Good.
So that's clean and crafty dishcloths for all seasons. But they had a second one, 52 more weeks of dishcloths, a Knit Picks Kitchen Spectacular. So this was also $5, normally $15. Celebrate the humble kitchen dishcloth once again. 52 more weeks of dishcloths, a Knit Picks Kitchen Spectacular features a second year of knit and crochet designs previously published on the Knit Picks website. So a lot of different techniques, a lot of different looks, just a really cool thing to have. Now the reasons I picked these up were because they've got so many different cool textures and things like that. And if I really want to take my designing to the next level, these are good backgrounds to have. Things where I can be like, ooh, maybe I want to add a different texture here, and then I can flip through the dishcloths. And then having knit, you know, a few of the dishcloths, I'll know better how to do that style or that texture. So this is a really great resource if you are looking into getting into any kind of designing or you just want to try something new. Dishcloths are the way to go. It's like swatching, but you know you actually have a finished object at the end. Now, I know a lot of people will knit dishcloths out of cotton, but you know, if you're just kind of getting the feel for how it works, or if you want to kind of see how the same texture looks in different fibers, these are great resources to have. The third thing I got was the Dapper book. So this is the men's pattern book from Knit Picks. Add a dash of panache. Add a dash of panache to your everyday wardrobe with the timeless pieces of our Dapper collection. Comprised of cardigans, vests, pullovers, and even a few ties, these modern-day knits prove that anyone can dress to the nines. Be your most snazzy contemporary self with Dapper. So me and my friend Rafa, hi Rafa, we both got this because we actually really want to save up and go to Rhinebeck. And so you have to knit a sweater. So people always be calling me. Okay, I don't remember where that left off. Anyway, so my friend Rafa and I want to go to Rhinebeck, and there's a sweater in here that we really want to do. I don't think it was the one with color work. There's another one in here that we liked. No, ooh, but I do like that. It's a hoodie. I want to do that at some point too. Where? Anyway, there's a cardigan in here we really liked that we want to knit and take to Rhinebeck. So we both got this. This was $10. It's normally $25. Oh, excuse me, $30. So this was $10 at the show. Couldn't pass that up. Definitely had to pick it up. Love it. All right, then, so Knit Picks actually put out every time you would buy from their booth, they had like the same few things in their bags. So you got a Knit Picks knitting needles handy guide. So you could, like, if you're looking for new needles, they kind of, there's like a magic loop tutorial in here, and just a little bit about, you know, how to choose the needles that are best for you. So it's just a free little guide that they gave out. But then they also had their most recent Knit Picks magazine, which I already received. So now I have 3 copies of this. But it just kind of shows their newest products and their yarns and the patterns that use those yarns. So if you don't get the Knit Picks magazine, it's completely free. You can go to knitpicks.com and sign up to receive the magazine. And then the third thing that they put in there was a Knit Picks complete yarn guide. So this is all of the yarn that they have. It tells, like, and all of the colorways and everything too. So it shows everything that they offer and all of the colors. I don't know if it shows any patterns. I think this is just yarn. But like, one of their lines has a million colors in it. So, oh yeah, if you want, since I have so many of these, feel free to take some of those, because I don't need more than 1 copy. And then, in terms of non-yarn items, the first thing I got was this Sitting Under the Cork Tree sock pattern. This is a pattern by Heidi Nick, I think. It says Heidi Nick Designs. This was one of the designs that was created with Leading Men Fiber Arts. So Steve and Andy of Leading Men Fiber Arts had a lot of the previous patterns that were designed in their yarns at the show, including mine. And this is one of those patterns, and I told him that I really just liked these socks, and they were so cute. And he was kind enough to give me this pattern. just kind of as a saying thank you for doing this and thank you for coming to the show and being with us and, you know, just spending this time here at this, because Stitches SoCal was new this year. So it's the first time they've ever done it in Southern California that wasn't Stitches West. Because Stitches West, I think, is also in Southern California, but more in San Francisco area. It's in Santa Clara. So this was even more Southern California. And but he gave me this pattern. It's really cute. I believe it's top down. So that's a little... I don't like top-down socks, but I'll read through the pattern and see if I can do it toe-up.
You could reverse engineer it.
Yeah, I could reverse it. But it's also got charts, and I hate charts. But I haven't really looked through the pattern, but... well, wow, that's a lot going on there.
I'll say.
I hope it's written out, because if it's only charted, this is going to take a little bit of time for me. All right, but Sitting Under the Cork Tree, Heidi Nick Designs. So yeah, I got that pattern. Thank you, Steve and Andy. And thank you, Steve and Andy, for having me the whole time. It was just... I know I was only in the booth on Friday because they had another designer, Lori Wagner. I think that's her name. I know her first name's Lori. She had a beautiful shawl design, and I forgot to buy it before it went back full price. But it was so cute, and she had added beads, and it had like mosaic knitting. Oh, it was so cute. It was so well done. But yes, Steve and Andy, thank you so much. I don't know if they watched this, seeing as how this was the first time I've ever met Steve and Andy. But thank you so much for having me. It was literally a dream come true, so thank you. The last book I got is The Complete Crochet Course, and this is by Shannon and Jason Bowlesby. This, if you are unfamiliar with crocheting, this will take you from holding your yarn and hook all the way through like the most advanced techniques you could possibly have with crocheting. It is from beginning to end one of the most awesome books you could have. It's got patterns, it's got techniques, it's got extended techniques, it's got texture, it's got, you know, multicolor things, but the best part is that they were there and they signed it.
Nice.
Isn't that awesome? I got to meet the guys who wrote this. So that was really cool. They were actually there with Quaylen, so Quaylen knows them really well. They're like his they're his like extended family. So, well, not literally related. Like, you have the family that you're born into and the family that you choose, and that's his like chosen family on top of his blood family. So they're his family. What is? He has like there's like a name for all of them. It's like the Sheba tribe or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they all have the same dog or something. But no. But this was really cool. I'm looking into getting into more designing with crochet, so this is going to teach me how to read charts, how to write charts, how to read the written out patterns, which is going to come really handy for a pattern that I bought, because it's crochet, and I don't know how to read a crochet pattern, so, but this will be really helpful, and I'm really looking forward to using this as a really cool resource. So feel free to take a look if there's anything in here. Like, there's some really cool... Like, it'll teach you how to do cables. Like, that to me is insane. Like, I have no idea. This is just a granny square.
Yep.
But that's the chart for a granny square. That looks like Mayan hieroglyphs to me. I have no idea what that is. But it teaches you how to read all of that. And
I'll teach you.
Okay.
I'll help you.
I mean, I know how to do a granny square, so it's...
Right.
I'm assuming these are like chain stitches, and that's a double crochet, but... Yeah, so... But all of that is in here, and that's really exciting. Okay, what else do we have hiding over here? Oh, this is just more... Some of this is stuff that I'm taking to Virginia at Mad Knitters because I'm trying to help her expand into getting more hand-dyeds in her store. So I've got some little trinkets. I also have a lot of business cards. I met a lot of really cool people for future things that may be coming down the line. Okay, so one of the first things I got, again, Quaylen was like the cutest person. Quaylen gave me these pins that say Stash Busters instead of Ghostbusters, and they're so cute. So these are going to be part of a future giveaway, actually, because they're absolutely adorable. But it's a little ghost holding a crochet hook and a ball of yarn, and it says Stash Busters on it. And they do glow in the dark, so that's really cool.
No way.
And it says, if there's plenty of yarn and the pattern's good, who you gonna call Stash Busters? These are the cutest. So these are gonna be part of a future giveaway. And for anybody who's interested, so Quaylen does have a podcast. It's the Quo Podcast, Quoe. This is his card, and his thing is break the status quo. So he says, hello, all of my little status breakers. I've been catching up on his podcast. He's so cute. But he's got a lot of really cool things, a lot of really awesome patterns that are out there. He's a knit and crochet designer. But, yeah, he's so cool. Can you hold that? And I put all of the, like, tiny things in one place so that I wouldn't lose them. Got one other thing in here, I think. Yeah, okay, so first, remember how I talked about the buttons? I bought a button. It's a like guy in shining armor playing a horn, and the reason I bought it is somebody said, well, if you're gonna design something, you gotta add a little power to it. I said, yeah, there's nothing like a guy blowing a horn that's gonna make somebody feel a little more powerful. So I bought it. It's really cute. So this is from Linda and Bryson Sicard. I think, so the button guy it wasn't really a company, it was more of just a guy who collects and sells buttons. So there's like a whole button guild where people buy and trade and create and make all of these buttons, and I just happened to buy one. I have to go through this whole bag later because there's people I have to email, and then there's people that I want to pass on to Virginia at Mad Knitter's Yarn, because I know she's looking at getting a few more hand dyers into her shop, and I found a few wholesalers who were interested. Oh, yeah. Okay, so at another place, I found these really cute, I think it's called Chappie, but I found these cute handmade stitch markers. So I got a set for me because they're all music. They're all treble clefs, except for the middle one, which is a ball of yarn and needles.
Yep.
And so I got that one for me because I thought they were adorable. But this set I got, they're all dog related. They've got a fire hydrant, a dog house, a dog bowl, and a bone. So those are the different pieces that are on here. So this is also going to be part of a future giveaway, is these dog stitch markers. Alright, the last thing, because you're dying to get to the yarn, I know you are. You want the squishy parts.
Yes.
Okay, I have one other thing to show, though. This.
Oh, that's lovely.
If you don't know who Erin Lane is, you need to know who Erin Lane Bags is, because now, I know, a little bit of a disclaimer, I know that a lot of this is like high-end items. So, a little bit of a disclaimer. It's gonna sound like it's not on a budget, but here's the deal. I saved, as soon as I knew I was going, I started putting away money often, so that I knew that I was gonna be able to have a little bit of fun going to the show. So, a little bit of a reminder when we talk about knitting on a budget. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're cheap, it just means that you're smart with your money. So, everything I'm showing was not out of my budget. I had a budget and I actually underspent, but I had a very large budget and I was putting away, and I did actually, I had a few family members who did give me some money as well, so there's that as well. So it was specifically for this purpose, but just remember that just because you don't have a lot of money doesn't mean you can't have nice things. It just may take a little bit of longer time to get those nice things, or you save up for a while and then, you know, at one thing you kind of just do what it was intended for.
Yep.
So, you know, I don't want anybody to think, oh, well, you're not on a budget anymore, you know, you should change your name. That's not the case at all. I had a budget and I stayed within it. So just keep that in mind. Again, having nice things doesn't, you know, you don't have to be rich to have nice things. You just have to be smart. So this, though, is a Star Wars interchangeable needle set holder that holds 2 sets of interchangeable needles.
Wow.
So it holds so much.
Wow.
So these are the Knitter's Pride needles that I held on to, because I have certain needles that I use a lot of, and I gave you a lot of my Knitter's Pride when I got the Chow Goose.
I have them in my bag.
But I did keep a few. While I was there, if you've never been to a Stitches event, they have a PJ party. And if you go to the PJ party, there are opportunities to win prizes. Now, the PJ party's like Fight Club. I can't tell you anything about the PJ party, because what happens at the PJ party stays at the PJ party. There's not even any phones. Like, we're not allowed to have any kind of phones at the PJ party. So, but there are opportunities to win prizes, and I won this set of Addy needles. So that's in here as well. And then these are all my Chow Goose, the ones that I'm not using. And my 9-inch circulars are in here, and then up here you've got a pouch for all of your notions and cords and everything else. Now the great thing about this is that this bag, well, there are a lot of bags that are made by people who are like, well, there's a market for it, but they're not knitters. These are made by, all of the bags at Air Lane are made by knitters, so they're made with knitters in mind. So this one does have a magnet that closes, but if you put more in it, the magnet actually, sometimes, she showed, this worked a whole lot better at the show. Anyway, the more you stuff this in here, yeah, there it goes. The magnet slides up and down, so you can actually, no matter how stuffed it is, it'll still close. So, because I know that's always been one of my problems when having any kind of bag, is that sometimes it just gets too stuffed and you can't close it anymore. So no matter how much stuff you put in here, it will still close. So I don't have as much stuff in it. It's not the easiest maneuverability, but I'm assuming that the more you use it, the more it'll slide. Or, you know, if you put a lot in here and it stays relatively open, it'll just kind of stay in that spot. But yeah. Great bags. I mean, this was pricey. This was about $73 at the show. But I'm telling you, it's worth it. It holds sizes US 2s up to US 11. But if you have 13s, 15s, and 17s, there are pockets for that as well. So there's a lot of pockets in here, a lot of space. You can hold a lot of needles. I immediately switched over because I love it.
And it's Star Wars.
Yes, and it's Star Wars. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Squishiness time! So I had all of this covered in a blanket, so she hasn't seen any of this except for, like, in a quick photo, but it was relatively zoomed out because it was a lot. So she's seeing a lot of this for the first time. So you're seeing real-time reactions to what I purchased. Okay. First things first. This kit. This is the La Vie Bohème Shawl Kit. It is put together by Blue Moon Fibers. It's all fingering weight, and each skein is approximately 500 yards.
Wow. Generous skeins.
Yeah. There's 6 500-yard skeins of 100% superwash merino fingering weight yarn. So this colorway, there are 4 colors in here: Smoke on the Water, Maroon 5, Lean Mean Aubergine, and ... So this set is for a pattern, and remember I mentioned Quaylin.
Right.
So it is for this pattern, the La Vie Bohème shawl. It is basically this gorgeous batwing shawl, if I can get the picture. It is this gorgeous, gorgeous thing. And again, Quaylen was the nicest guy. And for only being 20 years old, he is so talented. He's so good at what he does, and he's got such a creative mind. He's like constantly thinking about new things to do. So I bought this kit. One, because I could not believe that this was a crocheted shawl when I saw it.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
So I was like, I have to buy the kit. I have to buy the kit because I've never crocheted fingering weight yarn. I said, by the time I'm done with this shawl, I'll be pretty darn good at it. Because I think it's all single crochet.
Oh wow, it's gonna take
maybe
forever.
half double. Could be half double. But I'm really excited about doing this. But it's done in pieces. You don't do it as one. You do it in 7 pieces. So I'm really excited about this. But again, this is why I bought that book, because I don't know how to read it. Oh no. So yeah, but this is an amazing pattern. This is so much fun. This came from the Needle Points West shop. Their booth at Stitches. So I bought this. I'm really excited to get ready to start it. This is probably going to be like my next big project, is this. Okay. Okay, I do want to show this because this is also a future giveaway. This bag.
Look at the socks.
Yes. All right. Now I want to go into a little bit of the details about this bag. A lot of people actually know this maker. It is Front Range Bags. Okay. Front Range Bags. This is the owner's personal design. This is all hand sewn by her. She is a knitter, so she made these bags with knitters in mind. So first of all, 2 outside pockets to put your pattern in or anything that you might need to put in the outside. It's got a strap to carry it around, a place to hook your keys if you need it. On the inside though, it's all lined and cushioned, so it's not just lined, it's got a little bit of padding to it. On the inside you have 3 pockets to put small notions. Just in, so you can reach in and grab, instead of having it at the bottom of your bag like mine always is.
Yeah, mine always is too.
They're in pockets here, so that you can just reach in and grab. The other great thing is it does have a feed sack base, a flat base, but because it's padded, it sits and stays open absolutely no problem. So when you're knitting and you need to grab something, you just reach your hand in here and grab it. Then there's also a zipper pouch on the other side to put your phone and other things that you don't need relatively quickly. But, just in case you do have your phone and it starts ringing, you know exactly where it is and it's easier to get to instead of at the bottom of your knitting bag. But there's more. For people who like to do color work, one of the biggest issues with color work and knitting with more than one strand of yarn is that they tend to get tangled.
Or 2 at a time socks.
Or 2 at a time socks. The yarn tends to get tangled, right? She thought of that. It's got a ring on both sides to put your yarn through so that it doesn't get tangled. Now, there's some people out there going, but wait, now if you need to take your project out, you can't. You have to cut your yarn because it's stuck in a ring. She thought of that. The ring comes apart so you can get your yarn out.
Now that's cool. I'd have never thought of something like that.
So that way, if you do need to switch your project out and you want to carry the same bag, your yarn's not stuck. You can get it out and you can switch your projects and go about your merry way.
Nice.
So I want to thank her because she gave this to me for free.
Wow.
And
very nice.
That means that because she gave it to me for free, one of you is getting this. Future giveaway, somebody's going to win this bag. I know you're going to love it. It's gorgeous. It's very in demand. A lot of people. She showed up with probably close to 200 bags. By the time I found her booth, she only had 7 left.
Wow. So
these bags are hot. And they go very quickly. So one of you lucky people is going to win this bag. And she's an incredible woman. Incredible woman. Great mind. She's very, very smart. She's very creative. Love it. Again, that is Front Range Bags. If you have any questions, her name is Nancy, and you can find her at frontrangebags@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to email her. She also does have an Etsy shop that is frontrangebags.etsy.com. I'll put that in the video description box below so that you can find it if you're interested. Her shop may be on vacation because she's been doing a lot of shows. I found that actually with a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Their shops were on vacation because of the shows. But keep that in mind. Very, very, very amazing bags. They're usually $45, so the fact that she gave me one for free, I could not be more appreciative of her generosity. So there's that.
And a very nice bag to go.
Yes.
That it came in. A little organza bag.
All right. Continue on with knit picks. This is their dish towel set. It comes with 5 skeins of yarn of their dishy yarn and the patterns for 4. It comes with a pattern for 4 dishcloths. This set, $15.
Wow, that's not much at all.
$15.
That's a lot of yarn.
Yeah. What was crazy though was there was that blanket that uses like the gradient. It's all the colors and then it's got a black border. It's a bunch of mitered squares or whatever they are. That set was $31.50. It's a huge bag of yarn.
Wow.
$32.
I have to go next year.
Yes, you do. You do have to go next year. And all of you have to go next year.
Yes.
Seriously, if you love knit picks, that is the place to get your stuff. They had their bare yarns for like half off. They had skeins of like discontinued yarns they were selling for like $8. Ugh. It was the best booth to be at. What else is in here? Oh. Now take a look at that.
Greenwood Fibers.
That is Greenwood Fibers, who actually, I met the dyer, and I was like, have you sold anywhere in Nevada? She's like, actually, there's yarn at Sin City Knits.
At Sin City. And she just did a impromptu trunk show. She called and says, hey, I'm coming through there on my way to Stitches SoCal. Can I do a quick pop-up?
Now,
and she said, yeah.
What I found out, though, is that she's been trying to sell there for a while. And this was the first time she's really gotten to sell there. And so I told her, I was like, the clientele there would love this. Just encourage her to take that leap. Just try to get her to take that leap, because I think she would benefit greatly. But Greenwood Fibers.
She sold quite a bit the first day that she set it up in there. I bought some, of course.
Of course. It's beautiful hand-dyed fibers. The speckles, I haven't seen speckles like that in many yarns. They're so concise. They're beautiful. This one is called Arcade, and it's on her Simply Sock. It's fingering weight yarn. It is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon for 100 grams.
Very nice. Very nice yarn.
I had to pick that up. I couldn't
squishy.
I couldn't pass it up.
Yeah, she does a lot of wonderful yarns. She does fiber and spinning fiber and amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Yak base and
she did have a beautiful yak base. Okay. This is from Forbidden Fibers. Have you heard of Forbidden Fibers?
No, I haven't heard of that.
They have a whole Harry Potter club.
Nice.
There's a whole Harry Potter club. This is the Slytherin one. This is the House of Slytherin. Funny story. Forbidden Fibers gets away with using all of the trademarked names because when Warner Brothers took out the copyright, they didn't cover yarn.
Oh boy,
so she got away with it. Yep. But this has like sparkles in it. This is again Forbidden Fibers. It's their Pride base. It's 70% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 10% stellina. It is 100 grams. Gorgeous. Couldn't pass that up. I had to get it. Love it.
You and your Harry Potter heart.
Yes. Okay. This is from Dizzy Blonde Studios. She is so nice. This is called Kate Ice Queen. It is superwash fingering. It is 100% superwash merino 2-ply, 100 grams. This one spoke to me. I met her because she's a friend of my friend Izzy, and she has been looking for some pattern support for her yarns. So this was gifted to me so that I could design something using this yarn. So be looking in the future for a design from me in this yarn from Dizzy Blonde Studios. I'm very excited and very grateful for her generosity to give this to me right off the show floor so that I could create something, you know, whatever speaks to me. I do have an idea for it because a lot of her colorways come from names of dogs. So I have a thought of how I want to use this, but I'm going to sketch it out and do some swatching and see if I like it, and then you may see something from me soon.
Lovely.
Dizzy Blonde.
Beautiful color.
Oh, and it comes with a stitch marker, which is cute. Always cute. Okay, so there's a few things in here. Again, PJ Party, there's prizes and stuff like that, but one of the groups that donated to the PJ Party for the prizes, they're called Threadbare, and they had grab bags for $50. They had anywhere from $60 to $100 worth of yarn for $50. But if you bought 2 of the grab bags, you got a third one for free. So of course I bought 2 to get the third one for free.
Right.
So there was a lot of yarn in that, and we can actually move through that pretty quick because a lot of it was very similar. So one of the first things they had in there was this Plymouth Select DK Merino Superwash. They're 50 gram skeins, and they're just 100% superwash fine merino wool. And there's a purple and a tan, and there's like 4 or 5 of these each.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll make a nice project.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe like getting my color work practice on.
There you go. Yep.
Since I'm terrified of color work.
Oh, it's not that hard, believe me.
Oh, I know. But
I've done a couple things color work, and it's really not that difficult.
But
It's just figuring out how to hold.
Yeah, see, that's
yarn in both hands.
I'm gonna have to do it.
Or
I can't do left-handed.
Well, they make those rings that.
That's true.
The yarn guide.
I was gonna buy one.
Yeah.
But I did at one point when I taught myself reversible knitting. I had one on this finger and one on this finger, and it worked just fine. So we'll see.
Pretty much the same thing. You know, it's just figuring out what's comfortable for you.
So there's a few of those, as I dig them out. I'll continue to come across a few of them.
I'm sure you will.
Okay. Another thing that was in those was this Millefiori Big.
Oh, never heard of that one.
So there were 2 of these. It is 50% wool and 50% acrylic. They're both 100 grams, 93 yards. So this is a bulky yarn.
Look at that.
Blacks, browns, neutrals. You know, it's really nice. I like the way it looks. This will probably become a crochet project. Yeah, or maybe a giveaway. Like, not all of this is necessarily for me. Some of it might be for you guys. I'm gonna kind of take a good look at my stash and try to decide what I want to keep and what I want to give away. Because the idea was, if I bought all of this, that I would then replace it, not add to it. So a lot of the yarn you're seeing is either a replacement or it's a giveaway. And if it's a replacement, then whatever I take out is a giveaway. So there's a lot of yarn for giveaways in the future. And another thing is, because some of these are really big prizes and there's a lot of them, if I know I had a rule at one point about if you've entered on my channel and won something that you you couldn't win again. I'm going to change that because of how much I now have to give away. So when we get, I'm going to have like one day that's just like a huge giveaway day. So for the purposes of that, anyone can enter, even if you've won before on my channel. So get excited. Telling you now. Okay. Oh, so here's another. This is again the Plymouth Select. This is Chunky Merino Superwash, and this is a really nice color.
Ooh,
it's
that's
copper
really
heather.
squishy.
Yeah, copper heather. Another one of the grab bags. There were only 2 of these, but another one of those grab bag yarns. There was some really nice stuff in there.
Lovely.
And then some of the other stuff that was in here was this cotton.
Oh, I'm so big into making cotton stuff lately.
So there was a lot of this. This is Mika 100% organic cotton from Classic Elite Yarns. They're like 50 or maybe even 25 grams skein. 50 grams, approximately 165 yards. 2 blues, 2 purples. These don't have color names, they just have numbers. Yeah. So a few of those, really cute. I'm not a huge cotton fan, but I probably should expand my horizons a little bit. Woo! I'm saving yours. You can't see yours. I bought some stuff for her too. Some of these, okay. So there's 2 in here that were gifts from a friend. Oh, more of that Plymouth Select. Where is the other one? Here it is. So a friend of mine bought these and then gave them to me, being very nice. This is Sonoma. This is Appaloosa.
And this is Rogue.
These were really, really cute. I actually have a funny story. So Leading Men Fiber Arts was right next to their booth. Mm-hmm. And they had those big square shelves with open backs. And so anytime anybody would put their yarn back on the shelf, if they decided not to pick it, it would push some of the yarn out the back, and it fell into our booth where I was keeping a lot of my designs and the stuff, like my bags and stuff. So every 15 minutes I would peek over the table and be like, oh, there's like 3 more skeins. And at one point there was like 20. And I just like had my arms full. And I was like, here's all your yarn back. No, they were so sweet, and I met a few of them. But I told one of my friends...
Look at how cool that is. It's got this red speck in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
really I told one of my friends that I really liked their yarn, but I'd kind of reached my budget limit at that point, and so they went and bought some for me. Aww. So that was really nice. And then a couple more from the grab bag. Sprout 100% organic cotton.
Oh, that's nice.
These are like homespun. Homespun is a weird yarn, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but this stuff is a little bit more tightly wound, and so I'm okay with it. This is 100 grams, about 109 yards. Oh, I guess it's about a bulky, because it says use 10 millimeter, or no, excuse me, US 10s or 6 millimeter needles. So I'm assuming the hook is about the same. This is again from Classic Elite Yarns. So yeah, the other one was Mika. This is Sprout. So I guess Classic Elite kind of has a couple different lines of cotton.
That's neat.
Again, none of these have color names. They're all numbers. All right. One of my favorites, Shaky K Fibers.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that pop brightness of color.
Look at
Isn't that gorgeous? Woo. That is ridiculous. That is a lot of color. And the colorway is actually just called Rainbow. So, no, it's fingering, it's 3 ply, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. Gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. I saw a few samples of it knit up. That is one of my favorites. It's 400 yards, so it's a little bit of a heavier yarn, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
Now here's one of those Knit Picks ones that they were selling for like $8. This is their Stroll sock. It was from their Stroll sock lab. I think this is like their test dies. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like $8. Fingering weight it's got like a solid gray area and then some speckles that are a little bit more neutral. But these sold in like 3 hours. They were gone quick. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And they're trying to fall apart a little bit there. Get the scrunchiness.
Nice.
Alright, I got 2 more before your excitement.
He's making me wait.
I am. This is Honey Girl Farms. Gorgeous dyer, hand-dyed and hand-spun yarns and fiber. They're from Gerald, Missouri. This is a Fantastic Beasts colorway called Percival Graves. So if you've seen Fantastic Beasts, this is based on that character. I love it. I couldn't pass it up. This is her sock yarn. Fingering 4-ply, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. Super squishy, super gorgeous. I'm going to try and design something using that as well. I'm trying to, when I get a hand dyer's yarn, I'm trying now to do maybe some designing with it, because that really helps a hand dyer out. If you do any kind of designing, you should really think about, even if you didn't meet the dyer personally or you got it from something, designing something out of that yarn and then emailing them and saying, hey, I designed something out of your yarn, would you like, you know, some pictures, or, you know, whatever it is you want to do. Just the fact that you've done something and let them know that you've designed something out of their yarn, it really helps them, because there are a lot of people out there who see a pattern and they want to know what yarn it was knit out of or crocheted out of, because they want to make it exactly the way it looks in the pictures. So that's, if you do any designing, that's a really good tip there, is to let the dyer know that you're using their yarn. One of the last things we have here is this artist hand-dyed yarn. This was also from Needle Points West, and it was in their, they had a pool of like $10, everything in it was $10.
Nice.
So this is a skein I picked up from them, and I didn't really take a look at it. I was just like, I really like that color, and I grabbed it. It's their sock weight yarn, 440 yards. It is hand-dyed in Turkey. Oh, it's from Feza.
Oh, yeah, it is Feza. Huh.
Oh, that's cool.
I like Feza yarns. I got quite a bit of their stuff.
So I can't find the content though. Oh, extra fine superwash merino. So I'm assuming it's all wool, 100% wool. So that's really pretty.
Bright colors, bright colors.
Now, Angel has to close her eyes.
Oh no. Okay, they're closed.
All right, hold out your hands. Okay. Now open. Surprise! Angel's favorite color is green, and she loves Leading Men fiber art, so I bought her just about every color of green they had. I got one full skein and 6 mini skeins, and then I saw another dyer that had this dragonfly fibers that had this other color that I thought you would really enjoy.
Oh my. Leading Men fiber arts.
Tell them what you got.
I'm in love. This is Lucky Charm on the Dramaturg base in the DK weight. Look at that luscious green. Oh my. Is that amazing? Oh. And we have
These might be harder to
little
read.
mini skein. This is a Showstopper mini skein.
Oh, there it is.
92 yards. 20 grams fingering weight, 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon machine wash. Emerald City.
Gorgeous. So pretty.
And all these, the rest of these here are mini skeins. Glow stick. All the greens. All the greens. Alien Attack.
Now they had that on some of their other bases, but it was like some of their newer, really expensive bases. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do mini skeins. She might want as many different colors of green as I can get her.
Love green, all colors green. This is Sour Apple.
And I think these are all on the same base, the Showstopper base.
Yarnakoken?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Yarnakoken.
And Yarnakoken.
I
haven't heard of that colorway from Leading Men fiber arts before.
I really love the variegation in that.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Oh my! I'm gonna have to sit and look at it and pet it and hug it and
put it in her pillow and sleep with it at night.
Yeah. Swamp Thing. That is a swampy green.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Love it. Love it. And then of course.
So that's dragonfly fibers.
Yep. It's on the Dragon Sock base Zombie Apocalypse. 390 yards, 4-ounce skein. 100% superwash merino. Lovely. Dragonfly fibers.
I love the twist in that. The twist in that is gorgeous.
Lovely. Love these deep colors and the bright green. Thank you.
You're welcome. I knew that you would enjoy that.
You're so sweet.
My
best buddy.
Yes. And
Oh.
there's so much yarn. Okay, so I bought one more thing.
What did you buy?
This, remember that Swift you showed me that your husband built?
Right.
I found the Oregon wood makers that actually build it.
Nice.
And so most people use an umbrella Swift. It's that thing that attaches to their table, and then you can open it up and down like an umbrella to put their hanks of yarn on. Mine broke. So while I was there, I saw this. This is the one that sits on the table, and it's a perfect cross, and it just winds openly.
Yep.
Well, I saw them on Saturday, and I was like, I didn't know I needed that. And it was only $54, and they're like, well, if you want it, you have to get it today. We don't work on Sundays. They have some kind of agreement with Stitches that they don't work on Sunday. And I was like, oh, well, then I have to have it. So I bought it. It comes with a lifetime warranty, so if you break any of the pegs, they replace it. It's got this non-slip mat, so that when you set it on the table, it doesn't start going everywhere. It's got everything you need, including instructions on how to use it. And if you can't figure out the written instructions, which is like 3 pages long, it's really not that hard. If you can't figure that out, it's got the phone number where you can call the guy who makes them, and he'll talk you through it on the phone. So I bought one of these because I had to have it. Yep. And I didn't know that I had to have it.
You're going to love it. I love mine that my husband built me. My husband's very handy. I just showed him a tutorial on YouTube, and he just went at it with some scrap wood and everything that he had at the house and just built it.
Made it happen.
Yep, made it happen.
Made it happen. Yeah. So Stitches was crazy. I was handing out my postcards and business cards to just about everybody I met, and I met a few people who watch the podcast.
Nice.
I wish I could remember your names, and I'm so sorry that I can't. I remember your name is Soul Promise on Instagram. I remember you. You were so much fun, but I can't remember your name off the top of my head, and I would look it up on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record. And then there was another lady who came up to me, and it was just so amazing to meet people who have, been with me through this whole journey. And just to meet so many new people and make so many new connections. There's a few other people I'm supposed to email about design ideas, and there's some dyers who want to work with me. There's a lady who's trying to put some kits together and maybe wants me to dye one of the colorways for her kits. So there's just a lot of really cool things that came out of this experience, and I met so many amazing people, and it just really felt good to be around my people.
Yes. Getting a lot of good opportunities, and you deserve it.
I do not recommend LA, though. That traffic was awful. I missed my bus to come back.
Oh, wow.
It was a 6:30 a.m. bus, and we just woke up late, and LA traffic is awful on Monday morning, and, well, it's awful all the time, but so we missed my bus, and I had to catch a Greyhound, but Greyhound doesn't leave from the same terminal that the other bus did. So to get an Uber to go to the other terminal, and then when I was almost in Vegas and I told my friend to come pick me up, I told him the terminal I left from, but Greyhound doesn't go to that either, and they have their own downtown near Fremont. Yep. By the way, Greyhound bus terminals are sketchy. They're terrifying. They're in the middle of nowhere. They're in the middle of everywhere, but also the middle of nowhere. Like, they're the most terrifying places of town. And so I said, I will never ride Greyhound again. But Megabus was great. Megabus was cheap. When I was riding Megabus, it was like $12 round trip. But because I missed it, I paid $31 to get the next available bus out of the city. Right. So, I recommend if you're taking the bus, take Megabus or Flixbus or something like that. Do not. Greyhound is awful. Other than the fact that they actually have a bathroom on board, it was awful.
Right.
So, scared me to death. That and the bus driver got us stuck on something at one point, and I was just like, what are you doing?
Well, we're going to plan on going together next year.
Yes.
And that way I'll protect you.
Well, now, here's the other funny thing. So a lot of people have been encouraging me, you know, like Stitches West is in February. Mm-hmm. So apparently now I'm going to Stitches West. Because people are like, are you going to Stitches West? You're going to Stitches West. I was like, well, I guess I don't have a choice now, do I? So I am making plans to go to Stitches West in February and see all of those people again.
I'll have vacation by then.
Well, let's go to Stitches West.
Let's see if we can make that happen. I'm gonna have to do some really finagling and saving up some money, but
if not, we can.
Because I want to make a dent.
Well, if not, we can. Stitches SoCal is great because it's more in the fall. You'll have a whole year now.
I would have.
But I have to
save up.
I got to save up for 3 festivals now because I got to do Stitches West in February. Then I have to do Rhinebeck in October and Stitches SoCal in November. Oh goodness!
Start saving now.
Oh, this is where being on a budget sometimes sucks. Okay. Well, so that's my plans.
Design more patterns.
That's true. Speaking of which, the shawl is now available on Ravelry. I'm about to make it available on Etsy. I don't have a coupon code yet for Etsy, but I am going to put the coupon codes for my shawl and hat pattern, like all of my patterns, the same coupon codes that I gave to everybody at Stitches. Share the coupon codes. I'm about the love. Share the love. But those I'm going to put in the video description box below. And there's one that gets you 50% off my patterns, and there's one that gets you, if you buy the shawl pattern, you get the hat pattern for free. I know some of you have already purchased the hat pattern, so if you've already purchased the hat pattern, let me see what I can do. I might get you a coupon code to where I take $3 off the shawl pattern, so you can have that as well. And it's the same $3 off, you're just getting it a different way. So wait for that, because I'll create that coupon code and release it some other time. Soon. You won't have to wait too long. But if you want the shawl and the hat, but you've already purchased the hat, I'll get you a coupon code so that you still save $3. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Other than that, I'm out of things.
Yes.
I believe Angel's out of things, and is this your first time on a podcast?
Very first time on any podcast.
On any podcast.
And it happens to be with my favorite podcaster.
Aww, thank you.
I've only been threatening for a year to come on the podcast. No, she really has.
Like, ever since she met me, she's like, I'm gonna be on your podcast. It's been like a year, and now we're finally
doing it.
Making it happen. Mm-hmm. So, no, I'm out of stuff. Normally I have, like, life updates, but I don't really have any life updates.
No, you've been too busy to have
I've been too busy to have life updates. This was life. This was life for the last 3 weeks, just getting ready for all of this. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else to share, which is crazy for me.
It's nice talking to you all.
Yes, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And you're very welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Yes. I never get to see you very much anymore.
Yeah. We're going to remedy that, definitely.
Yes. All right. So, guys, thank you for joining me today. This has been... It's kind of a wrap-up to all of the final craziness that was getting ready for this event. So, for those of you who were waiting for the whole giveaway thing, don't worry, I'm going to film that here this week. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't announcing winners before the thread was actually closed. So don't worry, that is coming. You're not going to have to wait too long, I promise. Other than that, it's going to be about... So technically this podcast would have been over this weekend. So there'll probably be another podcast pretty soon. If not, it'll be another, 2.5 weeks just to kind of get back on schedule. But, don't worry, I've got a knit crate unboxing I've got to do. I'm still slacking on getting that done. I think I've got 2 now to open, and I think there's a 3rd one that's being shipped to me right now. So I've got to do a couple of unboxings on that, and I think I've got some yarn reviews I'm going to do here soon, too. All right. So thank you for joining me.
Yep.
It's nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to have all of you as well. We're going to go. I think we're going to have some adult beverages.
Yes.
Yes.
Time for adult beverages.
All right. Thank you again. I will see you all again very soon here on the Widget Knitter podcast channel. Bye. Mwah.
Mwah.